Alright, we'll go over some stuff to check if you're buying a 9th gen, I think it's 8th and 9th gen F150. If it's got any rust on the body, you want to make sure you check these spring hangers back here. Now, these are really common places for it to rust out, and you can't just look at them. Actually, you tap on them a little bit because it's like a plastic paint on them that's real thick. So it will just hang out there and stay in the shape that it looks like everything's fine. I actually bought a truck like this, thinking everything was fine, and then got in there and started tapping it, and this whole section here came out when I tapped it, just like that, because it was just the paint that was holding it together, and then it was just all eat out inside. So yeah, make sure you give that a good check. And if you have one of these and the wheel well's not rusted out yet, keep up in there. You want to spray some water up in there when you wash it to try and wash that mud. See where that rock's stuck? That whole wheel well gets full of dirt. And every one you see, if it's just rusted out, if it just started rusted out in here, you can feel up in there and this whole thing's packed full of dirt. And the water just gets up in that dirt and sits there. And that's what makes them rust out. Now, the spring hangers on the back aren't too horrible to change, at least the way I did it, because I had to take the bed off, ended up having to take the bed off of that one and painted the frame anyway. They sell that spring hanger for 40 bucks, and the shackle on it's 20 bucks. And you grind those four rivets out, and it's got 4 bolts to put in. But like I say, it might be a little harder working under it, because I got to work on top of it, because I had to do both of them and replace the rear gas tank, so I just took the bed off to do it on that one. But that's the thing to watch out for. Like I say, the first place they're going to rust out is around that fender, followed by the tailgate. Then this will go. It's very rare that this is gone, but another spot to check if the back end's gone and you want to fix that, I want to go ahead and check out how solid the spring supports under the front are. And that's both sides. Usually stuff's going to be worse on the driver's side, at least in this part of the area. Might be worth checking out those bushings, make sure they're present. But just showing this isn't bad. That actually all had paint on it when I bought it. Just once it starts going, it goes pretty fast. But you don't want like any pitting, any really heavy pitting or anything in there. But it's just generic. Yeah, make sure you flip your tank switch. Make sure both tanks are working. Anything else I can think of to note? Your dash pad's gonna be cracked on just about all of them. Your fuel switch, you'll probably have some kind of problem, so it'll probably be punched in or something. Really not that bad. Just take this off and you can glue that back in there. Anyway, that's all. Alright, I figure I'll go ahead and just go over some of the other common issues of it. Not really stuff you need to check if you're just buying it, but if your AC is not working and you want to check if it's a low charge or if the switches went bad, you can unplug this and put a paper clip between the terminals and see if your compressor kicks on. If it does, A, the switch is bad, or B, you have low pressure. If your AC wants to blow through the defrost, especially on AC Max, this vacuum line's probably gone. See here, it's already got a piece of rubber line on it from that plastic. The sun gets in there, breaks down that white plastic vacuum line that's there. Another common issue with these is, well, I've heard it's common, first time I've seen it was with this truck, is plastic radiator. It wants to crack, like right on the other side of that. So, right down in there. But it really wasn't too horrible. I did switch this one over to a Super Duty radiator, so it's about twice as thick as the standard one that was in this truck, so I had to buy a new fan shroud when I did that. Let's see. Now, if you're looking at a 96 only, it is a OBD2 truck versus all the other, anything else in this body style is just an OBD1. OBD2, it's nice because you can get just about any code reader. It's going to give you a lot more description of what's wrong. On the downside, it's a little different for parts as far as computer stuff goes, but hopefully you never have to mess with that. If you're running with a pre-96 and you're having issues, mainly I've seen it on the 6 cylinders, if you're having issues with it missing, it may be the capacitors, and say you've tried it, the codes it usually throws with this issue, you're going to get codes for the coolant temperature sensor and the throttle position sensor. And the issue I found with that, I've seen a couple people have this issue, and some people didn't ever resolve it before they sold the truck. In my case, and another case I saw of, they tried changing those sensors, tracing all the wires, ended up being the computer right here. The capacitors went bad in it. I chased my issues for a while, changed all the plugs, everything, but ended up being that computer, bad capacitors. To get that out, it's a bolt on top of it, bolt on bottom, bolt in the plug, and you take some little bolts out of the wheel well, right there, and pull the inner fender out just a little bit. You don't have to take it all the way out, and you can get that computer out of there. Pop another one in there. I just got mine from the junkyard. That's about all the exciting stuff I can think of to note in the engine right now. Now there's differences again here. Mass airflow, some of them are, some of them aren't. You can look up that if you really want to know anything else about that. It shouldn't really affect you that much unless you're planning on modifying your truck a lot. But yeah, that's about all the stuff I can think of to note here. Now if you're looking at the 87 to 92 series, you should go ahead and take a good note of the headlights, because 87 to 91. You should take a good note of the headlights because on those trucks they are different, and those headlights run about $170 a piece. Versus on the 92 through 96, these headlights you can get a cheap set for 40 bucks for a set. So that's something to take note of. But other than that, I really can't think of a lot to note else to keep an eye out for. Power windows, power locks, always very nice to have. If the door is not closing properly, that bushing right there, you can see mine's cracked, but they'll fall off or whatever. And you can pick those up at the advanced store for, I think it's $4, something like that. It's in those little help section. And you get 4 of those, 2 for the door, and the ones for the tailgate are all in that one pack. But yeah, that's about all I can think of to note that's problem areas on these trucks and things to watch out for. Thank you.